Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So today I am doing a video on systems. When is using like a system too much? And that could be different for every person, but when is getting tarot readings too much? When is delving into astrology too much? When is using numerology too much? Well, I have a personal theory on this of what works for me. So, tarot readings. Listen, I started reading tarot when I was 47 or 47? Yeah, 47. And that means that the majority of my life, I did not use tarot in order to help me with whatever I was going through. And I only have gone to see a tarot reader a couple of times. Now I have gotten, since I started reading more tarot tarot readings from others, because of course I'm in a tarot community, right? So, but when you use it so much that you can't even use your own intuition to, really decipher what is right for you in your life, because even when you go to a tarot reader, I would hope that you are listening to the advice that's given to you by the cards, but ultimately I would hope that you're still using your gut, especially when you go to or you see these readings that say, is he cheating on you, or are they talking behind your back, or something that's so dividing, okay? Because, and I'm not saying that couldn't be true, it could be. However, unless you are 100% sure on those kind of things, don't go back and just blow your life up because of what you got in a tarot reading, okay? That is when it is too much sometimes, and we have to stop and use our discernment. Should I do this? Should I do that? Great. Instead of actually asking questions like that, like, should I do this or should I do that? I ask questions like, okay, show me, if I choose this, show me the possibility of what could happen. And if I choose this way, show me the possibility of what could happen there. And that's also understanding that whatever kind of reading that we're doing in that moment, even if it is divinatory for the future, there are a lot of things that can change that future. Just because you use it for, divination, even if it's the next 3 months or the next 3 weeks or whatever, things can change that. That is one possible trajectory or I don't even know how to say it. That is one possible outcome, because you and your choices can change that outcome. Somebody else and their choices can change that outcome, or just something happening in general that could be very minute could change how that happens. So it's a possibility, right? But other systems where I really, really want to get into it is astrology. I feel like, because I'm going to be talking more on my channel about astrology and about real sky versus Western, or any astrology really. I love empowering people and helping them learn how to look and learn these different systems so that they can learn for themselves, because I truly believe in knowing thyself, right? And that's why I love all these systems that I'm talking about, tarot and numerology and all that. But one of the things that I hate about all these systems is that we can box ourselves in and become identified in these systems, rather than allowing that system to be an energy that you can use to utilize in your life. What I mean by that is I've seen it a lot with astrology, where you will show somebody the sun that they were really born under, or the moon that was really in this sign when they were really born, their true birth date and time and all that, right? And what their rising sign is and what planet. But they have become so identified as something else that they can't look beyond that. Or even like, it's very much like a religion, growing up and being brainwashed in a religion. And I call it brainwashing because people become so indoctrinated into these control systems that, and traditions, you know, that they box themselves in, you know. So the way that I use like astrology is helping to understand the energies that could be at play and how to maneuver myself. But something that I have also learned, like even with tarot, is I stopped doing like year ahead spreads. And this might not be for everybody. It is for me. But I stopped doing year ahead spreads. I stopped doing even week ahead spreads and month ahead spreads, because if it was something good that I perceived that was good in the cards, then I was so excited and I could make that come true, right? But the opposite of that is true as well. If it's something like you're getting a Tower card and you're getting a Death card and you're getting, the Eight of Swords or whatever, those things, for me, when I see those coming, I'm like, what the hell now? What's on the horizon? What do I have to look forward to? What's going to come crashing down? When I think because of knowing that kind of stuff, anxiety ensues, and then you start focusing on what it could be and you actually create it. Just like I believe the other is, if it's something good, then you can create that as well. That's like the law of attraction, the law of frequency, the law of vibration, like feng shui, whatever you want to call it, right? But that can happen on the reverse as well. So that's why I stopped doing it. And I started using tarot for like, for fun, for one, and the moon, understanding how I can use like certain energy that's in the sky. But even when I do my moon readings, even though it's tarot, I've still got the moon chart. I understand what house it's in. So I've already got that basic understanding, fundamental understanding of what phase it's in, what house it's in, what sign it's in. Those are all pertinent to understanding what I do with that energy and how I can utilize that energy to benefit me. Because I'm not out here doing magic or doing divination in order to continue to focus on anything that's negative in my life. That's not how I use it. Somebody's not going to do magic and say, I'm going to do something intentionally so that this comes crashing down. You might want to be like that. You might be kind of sadistic in that way, but not me. I use magic in order to benefit my life. So when we use these systems to box ourselves in, where we're not exploring more and not being able to evolve out of something that we were, because we're so stuck on, well, I'm a Capricorn, or I'm a Scorpio, or I'm a Libra, or you get what I'm saying here. If we're so stuck on that we can't see our way out of that conditioning, just like in religion, just like in any system. If I look at, let's say, for instance, Saturn, okay? Saturn is going, or any planet for that matter, is going retrograde. I don't look at it like it's a bad thing. I look at it as a time to reflect. That energy that was normally outward is now something more for you to reflect on. And they're all going to be different because each planet represents something different, right? Or with tarot, if if I am more reflecting on something after the fact, like the deacon walk, okay? I am reflecting on the deacons after the fact because I'm not trying to, especially on the deacons where it's like 8 of Swords or 5 of Pentacles, or you get where I'm going. I'm not trying to focus on those particular things and then produce that in my life. I'm trying to actually use the system to understand the system a little bit better. And yeah, when it's something good, use that in order to corral that energy in order to use it in a positive way in my life. But when it's bad, I don't focus on it. Is that like bypassing? Maybe. I don't care though. If it's bypassing and I'm still surviving and I'm happy in my life, then so be it, right? I think that these systems are a wonderful way of doing shadow work because they will help you to ask certain questions of yourself, like why? Why do I feel a certain way about that? If that's telling me that, like for instance, numerology, because I was born on, well, I don't know if I should say that. Okay, I'm not going to give my actual birthday and year and all that just because of security reasons, but let's just say because I have like 4 ones in my birthday, that I would be looked at as somebody that doesn't listen to other people. I only listen to myself. No, don't box yourself in like that. The only system that truly, or I should say, a system is not going to tell you who you are. The only person that can tell me who I am is me. And guess what? I can reinvent myself always. Every day I can start anew if I don't like what yesterday brought me. And I even have a sign, upstairs in my kitchen that is pretty much saying that today's a new day to start fresh, look at things fresh. There's a whole bunch, of different stuff on it, but that's how I feel every day. When my feet touch the ground, it's a new day for me to begin again. And if I get too intertwined in a system that boxes me in and tells me who I am instead of me telling myself who I am and becoming overly identified with that system, then I'm not using it to my benefit. I'm using it to my detriment. And that's what I wanted to really talk about on today's video, is really just about how you use systems, and ask you, how do you use your system? How do you use astrology if you use astrology? Do you let it box you in and tell you who you are? Or do you explore the different things and then you can maybe recognize some things? If they're unsightly, then you can say, okay, then if I can recognize these things in myself, what can I do in order to fix it, right? But whenever we use it in order to determine, in my own opinion, something bad that's going to happen, or like, for instance, I'm the kind of person, like, what kind of questions would you never ask the tarot? I would never ask the tarot, when am I going to die? I don't want to know that, because I feel like even if it wasn't true, you're going to make yourself die on that day because you focus so much on it that you make it your reality. So if it's something that you don't want, you're still going to make it your reality because you're focusing on it so much. So use these systems to benefit you. I'm sorry if I've kind of rambled, but it's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. And just to remember another thing, these are systems. It's what either a group of people or one person put together and said, use this system. Like the Golden Dawn, putting tarot, mixing up the tarot, then mixing, previous versions, because it's continued to evolve, right? Mixing it up with the Kabbalah, the Kabbalistic tree, mixing it up with astrology. Those are all systems that are separate, but in order to bring it all together into a layering, right? But they are all different separate systems, but they're systems. So you can either use a system to your benefit or you can use it to your detriment. what wolf do you feed, more or less? So thank you for listening to my rambling, and I'm sending you love always. Let me know down below how you use systems, how you use tarot, how you use astrology, numerology, if you use any of those. Thank you.